Okay, well, welcome everybody. This is Calvin Starr, co-CEO of Living to Be. Today is Tuesday, May 29th, 2018, and you are listening to the Living to Be Tuesday Business Training Call. So thank you for dialing in. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend and are ready to build your business some more. To start off with, we're going to start with our mission, which is to spread hope, helping others prosper eternally, and inspire total fulfillment in the lives of others. As a company and as individuals, everything we do is to inspire others to live with integrity through finding their own sense of truth and purpose, knowing that every decision, intention, and action matters because of the people they affect. And today's training call is I'm excited about it because I just kind of had this inspiration to be able to, really start pulling from some of the areas that I've had great success at, which is building a network. And so today's is going to be the top 8 tips for building your MLM business. Now, before we get started, I had a great message this morning from the universe. It's a great email that comes to you and it kind of, shares some thoughts and ideas with you. And for me, this one was about transformation in the way that we think and what we believe. One of the questions that I thought was really powerful because it's true. We sometimes forget about really just trusting and understanding the process of what we're going through. It said, if you really believed you were guided, wouldn't you begin listening? Right? That's a great one because if you truly understand that there is no other path other than the one that you choose. There's no right path, there's no wrong path. There's always just going to be that one path that's right for you. And so I think when you understand that, you're constantly listening to what's going on inside, what's going on the outside, because everything that is on the outside is a reflection of what's on the inside for you. So you've got to be able to be willing to work through that, and you can only do that by listening. And then the second question was, if you really believed you were powerful, wouldn't every true desire be followed by action? And I thought that was just perfect for today's call because, if you really believe that you're this powerful being that's creating your reality because of what you're doing and who you are and how you think, then wouldn't your every true desire be followed by action? Because if you really want to achieve great success in your life, if you want to have the freedom, if you want to have the relationships, if you want to have the ability to do what you want to do on your own terms, wouldn't that be followed by action? Would it be followed by not doing anything or doing the same thing over and over again? Absolutely not. So that was a great question for me. And then the last question it said, if you really believe, or it wasn't really a question, it was more of a statement. It says, if you really believed your life was about to be transformed, wouldn't the celebration have already begun? Because that's where you need to be. There's this really fine line with creating success, and that is that you have to be in it before you create it. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that in order to create success, you have to be, free of resistance of that success. And so you really have to kind of walk it. Like I love the people that say fake it until you make it, because there is some truth to that. I don't believe that you should be deceitful or lie, but I do believe that you have to carry yourself in a way that you already have the success that you're looking for. If you don't, then people are going to be able to back you down. They're going to be able to decimate your dreams because they're going to be able to rip them apart and throw them to the wind because you're not going to be able to hold it together. And so, that was the idea when I thought about, these 8 tips. Or wasn't the idea, it actually came after the idea, which was that part of listening for me, which says, I wanted to do this. And then I had this message come to me this morning and I thought, wow, how they fit so perfectly together. So let's get you started with helping you listening, taking action, and celebrating by listening to these tips that I want you to take action on so that you can celebrate your greatness, okay? That's really what the goal is for these top 8 MLM tips for helping you build your business. Because, if you kind of just become a student of each one of these tips, it will grow your business, guaranteed. I mean, that's just the way things work. When you put the effort in, things begin to happen, things begin to transform. So tip number 1, okay, this is tip number 1, and this is probably one of the most important tips, which is know your industry, right? The key here is to become bulletproof to all of the naysayers or all of the negativity, because I guarantee you this, there's a lot of people out there that will attempt to destroy your opportunity in network marketing. I mean, I've got family that doesn't believe in it. I mean, they kind of believe in it because I've been doing it for 20 years. and full-time for a lot, for almost more than half that time. And so I understand that they know it, but they don't know it for themselves. And that's why people a lot of times attack it, is because they don't want to believe that the opportunity of network marketing is for them, because then it would mean that they would be wasting their time doing what they're doing. And so a lot of times we attack things because we don't understand them, or we don't want them to be that revealing of truth in our lives. And so a lot of people attack it. And so you've got to know your industry, and that's the key here. So we even have it in our presentation showing that MLM is a $178 billion industry. That's twice as much as like the music industry. That's way more than the NFL. And these are all established, well-known, industries. And here we are, we are monumental in our business, and people still have a problem with it. Okay. So, the trick here though, and about knowing your industry, is this, because a lot of us have been sold this bill of goods about what the industry is and how it works. Okay. I'm going to tell you this, it's going to be hard. Okay. But the effort that you put in will be worth it. Okay. Think about this. Every industry takes a lot of work to make it. There's not one industry out there that you hear somebody just doing nothing and getting rich. So for whatever reason, and I think the people had a good intention, maybe not, but they came in and they started telling people that, if you just get in, you find two people, you're going to be ultra successful. And that's not the case, right? You've got to understand that it takes a lot of work, just like real estate or being an athlete or a musician or a singer. Every profession requires hustle. Okay. It requires a lot of work, dedication, commitment. And knowing about this about your industry will prepare you for yourself, what you're going to have to do. And it's also going to trickle down into your organization and let people know that it's not just about signing up and sitting back and hoping that two people show up into your business and you create success. It's going to take a lot of work. And the truth of it is, because a lot of people go, oh, well, only the top people in network marketing make any money. Here's the truth of it. That's absolutely 100% right. But the truth is that the people that are the people that make the money in any business are the people that are at the top and making it work. So you have that opportunity. That's the cool part. You don't need a license. You don't need to be in a great physical shape. You don't have to have everything in order to be able to go out and create success in network marketing. That's the beauty of it. Even the best athletes in the world don't all make the Olympics, and that's the best of the best. So think about those things, because a lot of people try to take away that, you're not going to make any money because you're not going to be in the top 1%. But who's to say that? Because if you take the top people that earn money in network marketing, okay, and the 1% are like making well over $100,000 a month and just doing transformative things. We're talking about getting someone like yourselves to $5,000 a month, or maybe it's just $1,000 a month. And that doesn't take you to be the number one. That just takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to be able to go out there and share the opportunity with people. So put things in perspective. And then as you grow, because when I first got involved in network marketing, yes, of course, I was excited about the idea of earning $10,000 a month like some of the top networkers did back then. But I had no idea what was in store for me, because once you get good at something and you're able to put that energy and effort into what it is, then you become better and better and better. And that's what took me to $100,000 a month, was that additional effort, that expertise, that experience that you're going to get, but you only get it if you do the work. You've got to get out there and make the calls and do the meetings and do the things that you don't want to do right now, because you're focused on wanting to appreciate and experience all the success and the money and the freedom and all that. But that requires a lot of work. I don't know how many times in network marketing, when I was at the top of a company or working my way up, that people would look at me and go, oh, you're so lucky because you got in when you did. It's like, well, I'd passed people that came in first, so it's not about when you come in, it's about what effort you put into it. So that's tip number one, really understanding the industry, and don't fall prey to those ideas that, that you're going to create success just because of, where you come in. It's not. It has nothing to do with that. There's people that have not come into this industry or come into this business that will outgrow you because they are willing to put the effort in every single day to build themselves and to build their business. So tip number two, watch for success traps, right? What do I mean by that? Well, one specifically that Danny and I were talking about today was that we all want the room filled with new people. But the truth is, it's not always that way, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you've got a large organization or a small organization. You could still put one person in that room. But here's the thing, this is where the success track comes in. We all almost get afraid of that, right? If you're honest with yourself and you're really looking at an opportunity, and let's say that you get involved and then you have a meeting and one person shows up, you kind of feel defeated. Why? Because you're feeling that pressure of going, oh my gosh, is this really what it's going to be about? But it's not. So it's not about the full rooms. They will come eventually, okay? But only if you do it consistently. Your meetings are the lifeblood of your business. And if you're having a meeting, if you're having a meeting, then you are not really, working on, let me rephrase that. So if you're having a meeting right now, you're working on the result, okay? If one person shows up, that's a result. If two people show up, that's a result. But here's the beauty of it, and this is what I've experienced in my own industry experience, is that when you're willing to do the work and you're willing to put in the effort to having meetings, and some people, you know what, they are who they are. And I've had more than one story of people that said, I'm going to do a meeting every single day. But these people are committed because it's not about just that meeting. That's just the tip of the iceberg. But underneath all of that iceberg is all of the work it takes to putting together that meeting, meaning that you've got to promote it. You've got to get people to, commit. You've got to get 20 people to commit just to get 5 people to show up. So that's the way the numbers work. And so you've got to build it. And so when people have gone out there and they've built a meeting every single day into their schedule to help them build their business, they've grown tremendously. Why? Because when that one person shows up, that leads to the next meeting, which would be the next day. And it's like, okay, great. You came to the meeting, you experienced it, you liked it, you've ordered product. Who can we invite to the meeting tomorrow? And you start to work with them. Then it becomes 2 people. Let's just work with the worst numbers. And then you both go out and you start working it. And then next thing you know, you've got 4 people. And it kind of grows like that. Yes, you're going to have your little ups and downs and different types of numbers. But the truth of it is that if you stay consistent with anything, you will create the result that you're looking for. Going to work one day a week is not going to get you an income in any business, okay? You can't just show up at the office one day a week and then expect to have this amazing opportunity and cash flow in your business. It's not going to work that way. You've got to work at building and building and building every single day. This is that whole, example that people talked about with an airplane, where it takes 80% of its fuel just to get off the ground. You've got to put that energy into it the way that you would, into anything to be able to get it off the ground. And then once it gets off the ground, then you can start to tweak a few things and go from here and go from there. And maybe you don't do a meeting every day, but you've got people in your business that are doing a meeting that counts for those meetings every day. So, that's really the one of the keys of creating that success in the beginning. It doesn't mean that you're going to be doing meetings every day of your life unless you want to, right? But it is something that you have to do in order to get things going. You've got to be willing to commit to doing more than just one meeting a day or one meeting a week and really building that. When I worked for Tony Robbins and I was his field service rep and I would go to these cities, we would fly in 3 to 4 months before an event. And then we would go and cold call every single day. And we would, either walk in or pick up the phone and call people, and we would ask them to come in and do a meeting. Now, we did 3 a day. And we had about 8 or 9 guys and girls that were out there working the business. And for each one of us, it was a 3 meeting a day, like, necessity. We had to be doing 3 meetings a day. It not only made us better at what we did, it also created that excitement, and people started to network and speak to other people, and it started to grow. And that's how we would fill rooms and, events for Tony Robbins, was by going out there and building it. We did it at 3 to 4 months at a time. This is the same way that you've got to look at your business if you want to be successful. If you're happy with just being a hobby and being a part of the community, then great, then do that. But if you're wanting to build a business in a big way, you've got to be willing to commit and say, I'm going to do this and make it happen. And then once I get off the ground, then I can reassess where I am, what I'm doing, and look at different things to be able to do. So the answer is more meetings. Are you heeding the call? You need to become an event promoter. That's really the biggest thing right here, okay? Tip number 3, be genuine and ethical. Be you, okay? I have no doubt that everybody that is out there watching this or listening to this is ethical, okay? Tell your friends and family why you are excited, okay, when you're going to those types of people. Friends do what friends do. We've all heard it before. And then keep more of a formal presentation to your meetings and the people that you're prospecting. But you know what? It's funny because if a friend of mine came up, like if Danny walked up to me today and said, hey, and he started pitching me on this presentation type format, I would just be like, what are you doing, dude? Like, why don't you just tell me why you're excited about it, what you see for it yourself, and then let me decide on if I have questions about it or if I want to get involved. So don't overdo it. Be genuine. When you're dealing with people that you know, be yourself. Don't try and turn into something that you're not, because they're not going to see it for what it is. Which leads us into tip number 4, okay? Friends and family and networking, okay? Friends and family are really great opportunities for you to be able to practice answering some questions, because they're probably going to have the most for you, and they're probably going to give you the most negativity, okay? Truth. And so, when you're dealing with your friends and family, understand, these are not people that you want to barrage and just kind of like, keep going after and after and after over and over again. A lot of times our friends and families will only get involved after we've had the success, which is just the way things are. I know a lot of us out there that are leaders in the industry, some family members, they get involved after you've made your first million or whatever you've made. So it's kind of like that idea of understanding, which really what the tip 4 is about, is that networking. Identifying your target market. You're looking for people that are looking for an opportunity. You're looking for business-minded people. You're looking for people that are product people. Those are the people that you need to work with. Like if you know that somebody's not into health, don't waste your time spending your time and energy trying to convince them that they need to find health in your products and be healthier of a person. Look for the people that are more looking for being healthy. Find that sphere of influence that you can get into and start working with to be able to create the outcome that you're looking for. Don't try and recreate, or don't try to create a new opportunity with people. Look for the people that are looking. There are a lot of people out there. And again, that comes into, tip number 5, which is learn how to market yourself. Learn how to market, just flat out learn how to market. You need to understand, when you're marketing your website through email, text, social media, and other media outlets. If you don't understand it, because a lot of times, you can get a lot of activity and traction on Facebook for literally pennies. You can buy advertising on Facebook for pennies per person to be able to see your content and find out who's interested. And if you don't understand how, then go watch a video online, go watch a YouTube channel, do something to increase your expertise in something that you may want to accomplish. The other part of it is that, market yourself when you go to a meeting. If you're going to a networking meeting and you're networking with other people, do something to be able to understand what you're going to do. Like I've been sharing with people, I've been watching a lot of Shark Tank, and it's great because you'll see some people go in there totally unprepared, and they will get completely demolished. And so, but the people that are prepared and have everything that they need to be able to go in, they do really well, okay? Doesn't mean that you're always going to get the deal. Doesn't mean you're always going to make that sale or get that person involved, but at least you've done it in a way that's going to be worth your time and their time. And that's really important. So learn how to market. If you don't understand marketing 101, then go online, Google marketing 101 and understand it. If you want to reach into different social medias, then learn how to market on social media. Watch the big successful people doing it. Watch what they're doing and then emulate them. That's the whole thing about when you're out there building a business, if you don't know what you're doing, model somebody else. Model somebody that's getting the result that you're looking to get, and then do what they do. I watch a lot of top networkers that have tens and thousands of followers on Facebook because I watch what their content is. I watch how they speak to people. I watch all the things that they do, which is basically marketing themselves and their opportunity and their business and their products to be able to understand, okay, well, this is what's working. And I'm not afraid to take somebody else's content and use it for my own, because it's all just random information that's out there and been put together by people who understand it the most. I don't need to reinvent the wheel, and neither do you. So just go and find some people that are making it work and use those things to be able to create the success in your business. Now, tip number 6, make an effort to share your product and business every day. Now, if you're doing meetings every day, then you definitely don't have to worry about this. But if you're not doing meetings every day, it should be something, like I said, it's your job. You have to go out there and do it every single day, because if you're not going to create momentum. You're not going to create an income. You're not going to create the freedom and time and energy, and all that stuff is going to be wasted. So you've got to really make an effort every single day to share your product or business with somebody. Treat it like a business and it will be profitable. Treat it like a hobby and it will spend your money like a hobby will. Okay. So really get that point, because a lot of us end up just getting on auto ship and not doing anything, even though we tell everybody we're building the business, and we're not doing what it takes to do that. So really understand that if you want to do this, you've got to do something every single day to share your product and business every single day. Every single day, I'm reaching out to new people, whether it be through email, whether it be through LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever I've got to do, I'm putting myself out there. And you know what? I watch the results. I kind of see what's coming from it, what's not coming from it. And there's a lot of great results out there, but you have to be willing to put yourself out in the open. You've got to be willing. I mean, Danny and I are going to be on a radio show on Thursday that literally goes out to just 2 million listeners just on one radio station, one syndicate radio station. And, you know, it was because I was willing to reach out on LinkedIn to some people that I haven't talked to in 8 years. But because of that relationship, and also that just the way that I can work with people or have an openness to saying, hey, I'm going to put myself out there. You may hate me. We haven't talked in 8 years. I don't know. But let's work on something and see what we can do together. Boom, it nails it. And then we're going to have that. So that's a really big key. You know, make your effort, put it out there every single day. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't come back to you right away. Like, you may not get responses. I didn't get a response from this guy for like months, like literally I think it was 2 months, where I sent the message and nothing. And then out of the blue one day, poof, he goes, hey, I got a radio show with a lot of people. You want to get on it and you can share your product and your opportunity? I was like, heck yeah. Right. And so I started working on it, putting it together. It's taken a month or almost 2 months now to be able to put that together and start to, it's coming up on Thursday. And I'll share the information with everybody as soon as I have it. All right. Tip number 7, right? Sponsoring versus recruiting. Okay. Sponsoring is a supportive action where you're actually supporting somebody. Like when somebody shows up to your meeting, then you're working with them to help them get situated, to make sure that they get started correctly. Recruiting is abandonment. Okay, you're basically going through people and you're just dropping them off at the wayside and going, I hope you guys make it. I hope you guys are successful. I hope things make it real for you, right? So, but you really got to understand that when you're a sponsor, you literally are taking your time and energy to support that person and build their business with them. That's the most important thing. When I was a top recruiter in a company called Monavie, 1,500 plus people, I was a recruiter. I wasn't thinking long-term. I was just putting people in. And it didn't create a very good result. It wasn't until I became a sponsor where I actually started to work with the people that I had brought in and really help find out what it is they're looking to do, how they want to do it, what I can do to support them, that I really started to create a change and a difference in my business and in their business. And through that, it transformed people's lives. I mean, you've heard the stories, you've heard all the people that have created success like that. That's what you're going to need to do. So when you get that first person, that 10th person, that 20th person into your business, you've got to really think sponsorship. What can I do to support them? What can I do to make sure that they're on the right path, that they have all their questions answered so that they can go out and share the product with people? That's that, and the opportunity. That's the purpose of being a sponsor. Don't get caught up in the recruiting. Don't get caught up in the numbers. I mean, I see a lot of companies out there that are posting, oh, this person recruited this many people. It doesn't mean anything, because the truth of it is it's about the growth. It's not about how many people you can put in. It's about how many people you can put in and help them grow. And that's going to require time and energy to help them get going, because we go back to what we talked about before, which was 80% of your energy is going to have to be going into this to get it off the ground. And so you have to think in those terms when you're a sponsor. So maybe you can only work with 2 or 3 or 4 people at a time to really help them be able to take their business to the next level and get it off the ground. But the cool thing is that when you do that, they know what to do and they're going to do it for their people. And that's what's going to maintain the growth, create that excitement, and everybody's going to grow with it. Okay. And then let's get into tip number 8. Listen and work the solution. Okay. Listen and work the solution while, because this is a really big one, while having a system to follow up on, right? And that's one of the things that I talk to people about. Put it in your calendar. Do something to create that follow-up system. Danny and I were just at a meeting in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and I had my list of people that I needed to follow up. And the cool part is that the people that I followed up with responded. Why? Because they were followed up with. And that's the truth of it. 9 times out of 10, those people would never reach out to you because they live the same busy life that you do. They have a business like you do. They're doing things and they get caught up in Facebook and YouTube like you do, and they forget about things. But when you reach out to people and you remind them, hey, I told you I was going to follow up, and so here I am, it's kind of like, okay, now they re-engage. And then you've got that same experience that you had when you first met them, but now you're following up with them. And then it's about listening and working the solution, understanding and listening to people's problems or desires and what they want to get out of the business or out of the products, and then making sure, like we said about being a sponsor, that you're giving people what they need to be able to help them achieve the results that they're looking for. Give them the information. If somebody says, well, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds this week, you may want to set them up for success by saying, okay, well, let's first focus on that. Okay, why is it so important to you, and what's your reasoning for thinking that you could lose 10 pounds in a week? Well, I've heard it with other products. Okay, that's great. Now, do you want to do something that's going to hurt your body or heal your body? Because at first you need to heal your body so that your body can take care of itself, so that when you do naturally lose the weight, the 10 pounds, that you actually sustain it. And that's what our products do. See, it's all about your communication and listening to people, not negating them, not shooting them down, not making them feel bad or stupid, but just listening and saying, okay, well, here, let's talk about the solution now. Okay, hey, you want to get started, you want to make an extra $500 a month. Okay, well, here's what you're going to need to do. We need to focus on this bonus, that bonus, and these things to be able to help get you to the point where you maintain $500 a month or more, and this is how you do it. Okay, it's not like, hey, yeah, we can do that, and then just stare at them and say, well, I hope you know what to do, bye, right? You've got to work with those people. So that's key, okay? That's key in what we're talking about here. So those are 8 tips to be able to help you create a successful network marketing business. And so this is Calvin Starr, Living to Be, tip number 9. And just remember, listen to this over and over again, okay? Find a way to create a habit of learning information and applying it. That's one of my, I'll give you that, that'll be my tip number 9, a bonus tip, which is whenever I learn something, I implement it right away. Why? Because it's called integration. When you can do the things that you're learning and you apply them, they get ingrained and you start to learn faster and quicker. And it makes a huge difference. So this is Calvin Starr, Living to Be a Difference.